A couple weeks ago, you may have seen on social media when I posted a video of a Mopar saying, "Hey, we're up at the track because we got a last minute guest." A lot of you are probably like, "Yay, we get to do a Mopar!" But no. I was messing with you. You're gonna get another Ford. We're here today with Mr. David Mills, and he's got a 1964 Fairlane, which you've named the Bucketabolts. It's kind of a parody on the old Ford Thunderbolt.
Yep.
And he's going to walk us through and basically show off his work. So I'll hand it off to you.
It was a father-son project, and we raced go-karts for 10 years, and it was time for him to get out of karts. We decided it was build a street car. So we bought this. And it didn't take long for it to turn into not a street car anymore. Soon as he turned 16, he raced it for 3 years up until last winter, and he found other interests, and well, it was time for Dad to get behind the wheel again. So maybe he'll get back in it someday, who knows.
But you get the toy.
Yep, till then, I'm gonna drive it. It started out as a bear carcass out of Maysville, Georgia. I bought it for $800, and Dana Thomason from Dickens hauled it home for another $800. It was supposed to be fairly complete. Well, you know how that goes. So we ended up buying another parts car, and everything was in the trunk or in the seats. And I was not a Ford guy at the time, so it was like try to figure out how to put it together. So I bought one that was fairly complete, and we tore it apart and baggied up every single piece of it. And little by little, I put it back together again, basically as a stock form with a 289. And that lasted for about a year before that motor exploded. So then, in 2010, we were a mad rush, and we got it done for Pinks All Out in Topeka. Used the same small block C4 transmission, and with a basically a bone stock 460 in it, and ate the transmission in about 3 passes. So we didn't have a very good outing in Topeka, but it was a ball. So at that point in time, we knew we were in trouble, and it was time to upgrade everything. So I sold every bit of the Crite stuff that I had for it to leave the stock suspension in it, and I ripped the whole front end off of it and put it in the shed for 4 years, saving up money, and old enough till Wesley was old enough to start helping me on it. So in 2014, we built a chassis jig. We lifted it up, and we cut the car basically in half. Cut everything out of it except for the hinges and the piece of sheet metal below the windshield. Everything else was gone. From then on, we bought a Circle R Racing Engines 533, backed by a Power Glide, and 9-inch Ford with 429 gears. It's not quite deep enough for here yet, and definitely way too deep for a quarter mile. So we're kind of still in the process of sorting things out yet. Along with the upgrades last year, we went through and took out the quarter windows and gutted the inside of the doors. Basically, from the roll bar forward is a chassis car, 2x3 square tube, mid plate with a adapter plate. This winter I added the electronics to it, helped me be a little more consistent. The car's really consistent. I got a lot of work to do, but it's still a lot of fun learning.
Well, they're never really finished.
No.
It's just constant tinkering.
And we're 830 horsepower on a 8.5 or a 10.5 inch tire. So it's finding that right combo. rear of the car is just has a full tub with stock frame rails pinched in the front. Haven't done a whole lot there. I did move the shocks to the rear last winter, and lightened up what we could back here. Do some more this winter again. Got to put a plexiglass back window in it yet, and do a little screwing around with it yet. It'd be faster I put a bigger tire on it, but challenge to get it hooked up, and I'm gonna do it.
So why don't we talk about the name real quick? Why did you name it the Bucketabolts?
Well, it all came with all in boxes and buckets and ice cream pails, and that kind of fit it. So
yeah, and it's painted very similar to the old Thunderbolts were when they came off the line in '64. So.
Yeah, we tried to pay tribute as much as we can without trying to be a
clone.
Trying to be a clone or saying that something we're not. Still hurts some feelings it looking the way it does, but like I say,
you'll always run into some people that just don't have it.
Fiberglass dash. The dash comes all out with 3 bolts. Charlie Rogers out of California built that for me.
Well, why don't, if it's no trouble, can we pop the hood and take it
Yeah,
under
let's
there?
pull the hood off. Mustang 2 front suspension, tubular setup. I made the lower control arms, did all the mounts. Basically, this whole car was built in my dad and mom's company, Mills Construction's wood shop. We made a chassis table and lifted it on with my Pettibone, and that way it was all square and tied down, and away we go. Motor slid back a foot. Dang near 50-50 weight bias in it. So it's a lot of fun to drive, a lot of fun to work on.
Now, I can't remember if you mentioned this. Gas or alcohol?
Gas. Race gas.
Okay.
114, 116 Pro Plus Renegade racing fuel.
For people that aren't Ford people, there's 2 Ford big blocks, and this is the later style, not the one that would have come in
385 series 460 based motor.
Yep.
Big.
Sometimes you hear it called the Lima, but
yeah, 14-to-1 compression, 4.3 stroke. There isn't a whole lot more I can do to it besides ton ram and dual quads.
Or unless you go with the fuel injection route.
Yep. Pro Systems carburetor. Patrick James has done a lot of help with us, and Rich Wilhelm out of Sheridan, Illinois has been my friend for a lot of years building this thing, and this is what it's morphed into.
And it's cool because you just don't see a lot of Fairlanes racing anymore. So it was definitely cool to see one come up here.
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Bucketabolts can haul some serious tail down the track. Fortunately, on the next pass, the engine starter gave out on it, so after the first round of eliminations, the Bucketabolts had to go on the trailer. It happens. Race cars are hard on parts. I want to thank David for being on, and I want to thank the fine people at North Iowa Dragway for letting me get in their way and run around like an idiot with a bunch of cameras. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends. If you want to follow the Average Joe Hot Rod Show on social media, you can find all the links down in the description below. You can also find down below our crowdfunding efforts on Patreon and PayPal. So if you want to support the channel with a small monetary gift, we'd sure appreciate it.